What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you guys are stopping by the channel for the first time, please take a second and hit the like button for me. I really would appreciate that. Now, guys, there's some changes that are happening, and a lot of people are sleeping behind the wheel, not even aware of what's happening. I was just watching the news and I saw China has just initiated a probe on the United States fiber optics. Since Trump has been in office, he's been making quite a shakeup here. And I think that this is going to do what it always has done in the past, which is basically disrupt many, if not all, industries. And what's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. A lot of people are going to lose a lot of jobs. There may even be a brief recession, maybe even a long-term recession. But the simple fact of the matter is that these things are going to happen. And this is what always happens during a disruption. But at the same time, during these disruptions, there are always handfuls of people, pockets of people, while everyone's life is falling apart. There are pockets of people who are making a tremendous amount of wealth. And so the question is, are you going to be among the folks who are making a lot of money off of this during this massive wealth transfer, or are you going to be a part of the handful or majority of folks, the 99%ers, who are getting decimated and falling victim to what's happening simply because they're not paying attention and or they're not taking action? So, and you know, if you don't know what's going on right now, if you don't know how to prepare yourself, just comment 1 in the comments down below. If you have a plan and you know how you're going to survive this economic shift that's about to take place, and you already know how to position your business or start the businesses that will capitalize and make the most money off of this impending economic change or shift, comment 2 if you're already ready. Comment 2 if you're confident that your family's prepared. But if you're not prepared, if you're not ready, just leave me a 1 in the comments. I want to see where you guys are at in terms of readiness. Also, Justin Trudeau, who, if you don't know, is the, hang on one second. So Justin Trudeau, if you guys are not aware, is the Prime Minister of Canada, okay? Now, I think the United States and Canada have normally had a pretty good relationship, but it looks like there's a shift in that relationship as well. Number 1, Canada does not want to be the 51st state within the United States of America. I think Justin Trudeau's made that pretty clear. I personally think that it could be beneficial for Canada to do it, to join the United States, but that's neither here nor there. But Trump has also shaken up the world with these tariffs. Three countries that are most impacted by these tariffs right now is China, Canada, and Mexico. So, and there's a lot of business that takes place between the United States, between these 3 countries. Products being shipped to and from, imported, exported, and so, and you can already see it in the stock market. The stock market's reacting already. We've actually seen a nice run up toward the end of 2024 in the S&P 500, in the Dow Jones, in the NASDAQ. Each of those indices have hit all-time highs. But since 2025, we've actually seen a fairly sustained pullback. And so the question that people have now is, well, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, the thing is the long-term trajectory of the S&P 500, the long-term trajectory of the stock market is that we go north from here. That's the long-term trajectory. Now, what happens in the short term is less predictable, but it's all about being prepared for whatever happens. Now, some businesses are going to be more vulnerable than other businesses. Some employees, if you're working a 9 to 5, some employees out here are going to be more vulnerable and subject to layoffs, losing their jobs, getting fired, whatever the case is, reduction in workforce, and this is going to happen more and more as companies get scared. It's going to happen more as CEOs panic and prepare to protect their companies through reducing their expenses. Generally speaking, in most businesses, most companies, the highest expense category is typically the employees, aka their workforce, their contractors. So you got to ask yourself, are you in a position where if you were to lose your job tomorrow, you could sustain yourself and your family for the next 12 months, 24 months? The average recession lasts anywhere from 6 to 24 months. So if you find yourself in a situation where you lose your job, you got to ask yourself, hey, are we going to be able to continue to keep a roof over our heads? Are we going to continue to be able to make this rent payment, mortgage payment? Are you going to be able to continue to make your car payments? So survival is one aspect of it, right? But then there's the thriving part. Do you want to survive, or do you want to thrive during this economic shift? That's the question you really got to ask yourself. Comment thrive or comment survive if that's your goal here in the comments, guys. Are you just trying to thrive? Are you just trying to survive, or do you actually want to thrive and capitalize on this situation that's evolving? Yeah, that's what you got to ask yourself. Thrive or survive? Thrive or survive? I guess there's a third option. Are you prepared to perish and be homeless? I don't think people want to select that option. Although some people may be dealt that decision for them if they don't choose ahead of time. It's kind of like, a garden. If you don't plant flowers, flowers don't spontaneously grow. But if you do nothing, weeds will pop up. So the question is, are you going to do nothing and let bad things happen? Or are you going to take action, keep the weeds out of the garden, and make sure that you have a prosperous garden and take care of your family? Also, there are certain businesses that are going to just do really, really well in this changing economy. And I actually started making a list of those businesses that are going to do well. There are going to be some businesses that are going to be in so much demand in the next coming weeks and months and years. So let me know if you guys want that list of businesses that are going to do the best coming into 2025, 26. The businesses that are going to be able to be more or less recession proof, but more importantly, not even just recession proof, what businesses are going to do really well and even better during recessions. I met a guy the other day, and he was telling me about the businesses that he runs. Now, he's one of these folks who has multiple different businesses. But what was real interesting to me about this conversation I had with him, the dude's really understated. You never know he's worth, tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. But he's got these different businesses, and it's wild how diversified he is. He's got restaurants. He's got pharmaceutical companies. Well, he's got a pharmaceutical company that is in multiple countries. He's got a automobile related business, and he has I'm trying to remember what the fourth business is that he mentioned. Oh, real estate. So this guy is all over the place. He's a real estate developer as well. So I don't know if he does commercial. I know he does residential at a minimum. So, but yeah, so he is pretty insulated in terms of diversification. And he's got many locations for each of the businesses. So not only is he like diversified from a industry standpoint, but he's also diversified from a location standpoint. So like most people find themselves in tough situations because they have a single source of income. They have hardly any reserves, hardly any passive income. They don't have any other alternative income stream. They don't have emergency funds set up. There's a lot of things that people just don't have in place, and that's usually why people end up finding themselves in really desperate situations. So if you find yourself to be one of them, let me know, guys. Are you prioritizing your family? Are you prioritizing your health and your fitness? Because if you notice, only the strong survive in nature. Only the species, and within the species, those who are able to best adapt to changing circumstances are going to survive. And then of those who adapt the best and the fastest end up thriving. So again, are y'all ready? Are you ready? Analog chips might be making a comeback. NVIDIA has been finding itself in a really interesting conundrum lately, especially after DeepSeek made such a rumble in the market about a month or so ago. NVIDIA is going to undergo a pretty good shakeup too. So the question is, how quickly can NVIDIA adapt, right? Because if NVIDIA doesn't adapt quickly, it's going to be another company coming in to take its lunch. Same thing with Tesla. They had a little bit of a shakeup. But yeah, these companies, a lot of these bigger, smarter companies, they know what's coming, so they've already been preparing. So a lot of times, what you see in the stock market here, guys, is it's not that these companies are suddenly horrible companies. Is that investors don't understand what's happening because there's a lot of market uncertainty. A lot of investors with weak hands end up selling the market off. So that's one part of it. Another part is that a lot of times investors understand that less educated investors are not going to understand what's happening in the market. So what the smarter investors end up doing is they sell off before there's actually a problem, before the bad news actually hits, before a recession is actually labeled or identified. And then what ends up happening is that smaller investors, typically the less educated investors, they see the stock price going down and they panic. They get scared. They sell their shares off. They feel like they got to sell everything because, oh my God, the stock price is going down. End of the world. They get scared. They're like, oh, the price is never going to go back up. I'm going to lose my money. I'm going to lose all my house. I'm not going to lose my house, but maybe you lose your house. Because some people trade on margin. And if you're trading on margin, you're setting yourself up for to potentially make a lot of money, but also potentially lose a lot of money. People don't understand that when you use leverage, there are some risks you take on that you would normally not take on if you didn't use leverage. Leverage in the form of borrowing money, whether it's borrowing money from banks, borrowing money against securities you already own, borrowing money against your house. A lot of ways to access leverage. And in each case, there are risks associated with them. Yes, sir. So, are you ready? And if you're not ready, what are you planning to do to get ready? These are the types of questions that smart people ask themselves. If I'm not ready, what do I need to do to get ready? How do I prepare myself and my family? All right? For the married folks out there, if you're married in a relationship with someone where you share financial responsibilities, y'all need to get on the same page. Some people don't even know what page to get on. So, but let me know where you stand, guys. Y'all ready? Or is anyone scared? Is anyone confident that they're good? Is anyone confident that they're going to come out this thing on the other side better off than they are right now? I want to hear from you guys. Drop me some comments. I'm going to hit this next set. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll see you next time.